My dad was my dad for 36 years, and not as long as some of you, but he and I had a very, very close relationship. It was like he was my dad my whole life. And I just kept thinking, what do you say about a man? And the one word I always remember my mom saying about him is he was a gentleman. And I take that, and even there in the hospital, he didn't want to bother anybody. He didn't want, Dad, we can ask for anything we want here right now. Oh, I'll be fine. I'll be fine. Yeah. And every single person came in and said, he's the sweetest man I've ever met. Everybody was like that. And one of the nurses, Amy, do you remember which one? Rachel said, would you adopt me? I want to be, I know you have enough daughters, but I could be one more daughter. And that's just how he was. It's just, I looked at pictures, and I've been saving them, knowing that this day would come. What's strange is we're all headed there. And we never know when it's going to be or how it's going to be. And he did say to me, once we had the diagnosis and that, he said, I didn't think it would be like this. I said, Dad, we don't get to choose that. But we weren't ready. None of us were ready. But there are so many things, but I thought one of the things I would share was, there's a country western song written back, I think in the 80s, like in the late 80s, about my daddy's hands. Of course, I never called him Daddy. And it talks about being a child, but it talks about how hard those hands worked. And that was Wes for sure. And one of the pictures, I see my cousin Karen standing there. One day we were at the greenhouse, and she said, I just need some shelves down here to put some things for Ken. Guess what we did? We went home and we made shelves for Karen. And I have a picture of his hands sitting there sawing with an old saw. I have I found a picture of ceiling fan that was turned into a beautiful wind ornament, I guess you'd call it. So sure enough, I take it to Dad and I show him the picture. Next time I was home, there it was on the carport, just a going. The fans ended up getting weathered. He never did paint them because he thought that was just ridiculous, that pink and yellow and orange stuff that looked prettier with that. But he had to cut them off because they'd gotten so warped. But it still would go, and it's still out there. I might have to take it off of the carport. I don't know. There was a time he decided, and I don't know why, but he decided he did, well, I kind of know. It's a long story, so I won't tell it. But he didn't want the lightning rods on the house. So he went and got his electric, it'll be a picture in the slideshow, of his electric drill. He comes out of the garage carrying a battery. Not a big battery, like a car battery. It was a car battery. And he picks it up and takes it over to where we're working, sets it down, messes with the wires, and starts drilling. Electric drill? Okay. But that's how his hands were. And that's part of our display is, there he is pitching horseshoes. There's the bowls that he made. There's the leather work he did. I don't know, did anybody bring some of the ceramic work that he did? His hands were always that busy, and so I always thought of that song. One of the nights that we were in the hospital, I'm sleeping in the chair, and I listen to and I don't sing. Amy could come and do this for me. There he is, laying there singing, "Help me make it through the night." Aww. And they all said, Dad didn't sing. But he did. He was waiting for Peggy and Bart. They were both on their drives here, and he was singing that. So I thought of that. There were just so many things I've been telling people about the rug, where is, oh, I don't think Alan, I haven't seen Alan here, but Alan made a special trip over with an electric planer to saw off a bathroom door because the door wouldn't shut with the rug there. And it's been that way since they had the house. That's not like them. Both of them were doers. Let's get it done. But that was one thing that didn't get done until Melvin came over with the electric payment, did it just like that. So I can tell you so many stories. I see Jim and Carolyn, get all my names, and how many times they were with their camper somewhere, and Dad and I got in the car and away we went and joined them for a meal. One's up at Hot Springs, I remember. Down at Fort Robinson, I think, was our last time joining them. Going to the house. Last time I took him up there, I think he went out with you in the pickup even. Did some stuff. So we covered lots of miles, went all the way down to Sabetha, went all the way up to Wisconsin.
2 or 3 times.
New Mexico. We did a lot of living.
2 or 3 times to my house.
Yeah. Every bit of it was from my heart. Every bit. I'm going to miss him an awful lot.
Oh, now you're expecting me to hold it together?
Hand it over to somebody.